What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Zachary Smith here. If you are new or if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, leave me a like, hit that notification bell, and leave me a comment down below about this video, anything you've seen in the past or anything you want to see in the future. Continuing along with the series of doing a 4-round mock draft for every team in the NFL, we are on the Tennessee Titans, who hold the 11th overall selection. And also, until now, I didn't realize this, only have 6 total picks. So while I have been doing 4-round mock drafts for every team, they only have 3 selections within the first 4 rounds. So Tennessee, I think, while a lot of people are talking about them moving up, I think they also could be a potential trade down candidate too. Wouldn't surprise me to see them go in either direction. A lot of people talk about them moving up due to a need at quarterback. Last year, they spent a 3rd-round pick on Malik Willis, and in limited time, obviously did not look that good. That was probably, to me, what I would consider the worst possible landing spot for him, assuming that he was going to have to play very early, and that's exactly how it played out. So I liked Malik Willis throughout the process last year a lot. I'm still not out on him. I just don't know that it's going to be in Tennessee where he succeeds. I just do not like the environment that has surrounded him there and that's surrounding them there. I think sneakily they have one of the worst rosters in football. I think it's time for them to enter a rebuild. And if they're pushing back against that, I think in the long run, that is going to be a mistake. But without further ado, let's jump into this 4-round mock draft and see how I said 4-round again, but it's really 3 for them, and see how we can improve this team for 2023 and beyond. Stroud, Young, Anderson, assuming that Arizona stays at 3, it will be Will Anderson, I would think. This is kind of, chalk so far. Oh, wait, what is this? Carolina moved up again. Also, stick and pick is going to be the way we do this. It's just too hard to get predictive with it in terms of the trades. But yeah, this is weird. What was this? What the? They traded Burns and Brown along with pick 39 to go to 8 for Miles Murphy. Wow. I mean, that's weird. They're really yeah, you can trade players now on Pro Football Network's Draft Simulator, and I think that this mock just wanted to get in on the action, apparently. So at pick number 11, the Tennessee Titans here again, sticking and picking. Been some smoke to a Derrick Henry trade, and I'm not going to do this. I just want to throw this out there before I go anywhere else. Would Bijan Robinson be on the table if they were to trade Derrick Henry? First off, again, with the limited picks, I think they should be looking to recoup some assets there. If I'm Tennessee, I would definitely be trying to move on from Derrick Henry. I don't know if that I draft Bijan Robinson even in that case, but it would make that more enticing. Tyree Wilson here, I think he's on the short list of what I'm considering, along with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Would be the first wide receiver off the board. He should be, at least. Yeah, I don't think one would have gone before this. And then offensive tackle, obviously, very much has to be in play for them. I hate drafting just for need. Like, to me, the value has to line up. You can't just say, okay, I need this player because of the position he plays. Really wish like Paris would have fell here. Who's my offensive tackle one, but Skoronski is just, whether he plays in one of the guard spots or tackle, if he's able to stick at tackle, whether that's on the left side or right side, you're just getting a really good offensive lineman. I think that's what Tennessee needs to focus on, is just getting better in the trenches. So it's going to be Peter Skoronski at 11 for us, and Jackson Smith and Jigba goes 1 pick later. And I think he'll be pretty happy with that selection. Again, whether it's, him being able to stick on the outside due to that arm length, or if he has to kick inside. I think the floor is very safe with him. That you're getting a really good offensive lineman. And for a team that struggled to find that in the recent history, I don't think that you can mess this pick up. They need to hit on a good offensive lineman if that's the way they're going to swing. And Peter Skoronski is a really good one. Again, stick and pick. This is very enticing to me now. Ooh. I'm looking edge here. They could certainly use some edge help. They moved on from Bud Dupree after that contract. Woof. They need pass catchers in there though too. Like, I really like Cedric Tillman. I think I'm going to be a lot higher on him than most people. He's going to be right in that like wide receiver 5 range for me. I haven't put out my full rankings or anything yet, but he's going to be in that range. And here he is at 41. He's certainly got to be in play. I think my short list here would include Cedric Tillman, Felix Anudike-Uzomah, and Will McDonald. I don't know that I could go anywhere else. No. Yeah, that's where I'm at with this. When do we pick again after this? 72. I think I like my chances of getting a receiver at 72 better that I like than edge. These three players are all pretty close for me, but Will McDonald's in my top 5 edge players for sure. So where to go Will McDonald here? Really good athlete out of Iowa State. I think he's got to maybe put on some weight and maybe add some moves to that pass rush toolbox. But yeah, I think the ceiling for him is incredibly high, and I think Vrabel's going to really like him and what he brings. Vrabel might have actually preferred somebody just like a massive human, like a bigger player as opposed to a finesse pass rusher. But for me personally, just what I would do, that value is just too good. Okay, like I said, there's going to be a receiver that I like better at 72, and here it is. This is very easy for me. It's Marvin Mims Jr., who I feel like I'm not exactly there in terms of him and Tillman, like right at 5, but he's close. Marvin Mims is going to be very like close to cracking my top 5 receivers, I think, in this class. I'll be honest. I know that this is like pretty hot takey. I think I would rather have Marvin Mims Jr. than Quentin Johnston. You notice how I was like going to cover my mouth while I was saying that. Like, people are going to think that that's like an outlandish take. Quentin Johnston's not my top 5 receivers, and he's probably not going to even be my wide receiver 6. Marvin Mims Jr. at 72. That's fantastic value in my opinion for them. They needed a pass catcher at some point. A.T. Perry would have been a direction that we could have gone too high. Really like Julius Brents at 82. Man, if the Steelers don't take Julius Brents before that, I'll be upset. Or Jotavius Martin, either one. My Steelers fandom is coming out here just watching this take place. Yeah, we're done with our picks as far as the Titans go. We'll talk about these picks once this wraps up. This is sticking with the exercise, so I'm still going to do it as a 4-round, even though we only had the 3 selections. It's good value on Michael Wilson too. There's a lot of receivers that are going day 2 and early day 3 that I really like. But yeah, here's how the Titans finish out here within day 1 and day 2. It's Peter Skoronski at 11, the offensive tackle, maybe offensive guard out of Northwestern, just a really good offensive lineman. Will McDonald, the 4th, the edge out of Iowa State, who I think is plug and play. He's at least going to be a rotational pass rusher immediately. I think from day 1, just let him pin his ears back and go. Kind of like an Energizer Bunny, really good athlete. Probably, again, as I said, could stand to put on some weight, and I think Vrabel would want him to, just because of the way that Vrabel likes to play his edge rushers. And then Marvin Mims Jr., really good pass catcher out of Oklahoma, who I think is kind of being undervalued, especially when you take in consideration there's not really, a ton of receivers in this class that have like that wide receiver 1 ability, in my opinion. My wide receiver 1 by and large is Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think after that, you have a conversation. It becomes like, what's the flavor? What are you looking for? What do you prefer? And that's why I think I'm so high on Cedric Tillman, is because who in this class are you saying like is for sure this guy's going to be an X at the next level? I think, Cedric Tillman is kind of a product of that, of that line of thinking. If somebody is going to come out of this class and be a starting X at the next level, Cedric Tillman's got as good a chance at anybody. So for me, that's why I'm higher on him than most. And also a guy like Marvin Mims Jr., who I think is plug and play and going to be a pass catcher. Again, we didn't take a quarterback, so 34-year-old Ryan Tannehill potentially, or Malik Willis, get them some pass catchers. They need them in Tennessee very badly. and we'll see how things play out for them. But again, if it were me, I'd be looking for a way to get more than 3 selections here within the first 4 rounds, and we'll see if Tennessee does that. But again, if you are new or if you have been on the channel before and just haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll be dropping a ton of draft content as we get closer to the draft, leading up to April 27th. Next up, we will have it's not the Texans, because I already did the Texans, even though they have the 12th selection. So the New York Jets, who have the 13th overall selection, and I think we'll hold on to that 13th overall selection regardless of all this QB talk with Aaron Rodgers. I think that 13th selection will remain with the New York Jets regardless. But I'll be back for that. Until then, subscribe, like, hit that notification bell, and leave me a comment down below and let me know how you feel about it. And we'll see you next time.